Greetings all, Shane Bruce, Restomod Daisy, and today we've got a special attempt we're making. This will actually end up being a three-part video because there's so many components that I wanted to talk about tonight as we get ready to shoot in a special shoot we're having at the Restomod Development Facility this evening. What you're looking at right now are the guns we'll be using. These are all members of the Remuda here at Restomod. Two of them are fairly fresh builds. Let's take a look at them individually. The gun at the very front is our very first flame maple stock. You can see that that's a bit different from the curly maple we usually do. It's got a curly wrist on it, and then you get some flamey and some curly on the forearm. So it looks really nice. And this particular gun was a Red Ryder 1938, not a B model, but a 1938, a pre-78, and she is quite the little thumper. Runs about 3 1/4 with the Model 25 50 round spring-loaded mag installed. It's got a Cobalt 327, got the 764 air tube, and a new set of seals. It's got a factory Daisy lever, new production stuff. Didn't have a high pivot that looked all that well. Let's flip her over and take a look at the grandma side, or the mother-in-law side, and it's still pretty good. I mean, the flame maple is a whole different look. I really like the way this one turned out. It's a nice example of the Slim Jim, long wrist, skinny butt philosophy. And here you see it starts flamey and then gets curly toward the end, and we'll do the seam side so you can see how the joint worked on it. Let's flip her back around, let you take a look at the roll stamp real quick. Like I said, Daisy model 1938. Carbine Red Ryder. So gun number 1 in tonight's shoot. Gun number 2. Just finished this rascal up. We're going to call it the going to town gun, although
it's the Chico Banana gun, excuse you. Don't even try to change the name.
Elements of the staff.
What it's called is the banana gun.
Elements of the staff want to call it the Chiquita Banana gun, but to me, it's the going to town gun. Now, why in the world did it end up being this color? I'll tell you why. I cut this stock, I profiled this stock, and I thought to myself, Shane, there's no curl in this stock. Whatever will we do? And then I remembered, I did a stock about 3 years ago that started out with yellow, and then had a black wash, and then turned up green. Was not too desirable. But I figured the gun didn't have that much, or the stock didn't have that much figure in it, so we could just focus on the color instead. Now you notice that this one currently is still in the bright. It's not been fire blued. It might not get fire blued. This is yet another Daisy, and this is a number 111 model 40, I believe.
Don't move it.
Not moving. Okay. 111 model 40, low pivot. Was in pretty rough shape. I didn't do a video when I reduced the rust level on the gun, but I got it to a fairly bright condition. It's running a Cobalt 327, a 764 air tube, and a new set of seals. It's got the original lever, and we've also installed the extended magazine, the 50 round Model 25 mag in the gun. Now this one here runs about 331, so she's spanking right along. Still haven't got a butt plate on it yet, but that's not no big deal. Let's take a look here at the other side, and while not curly, has some figure. There's a bit of figure there. We'll see how it develops. Right now the votes are 2-1, leave it bright steel, with one abstention saying it needs to be blued. We'll find out later. Maybe I'll just swap the stocks to a blued gun and see if that makes a big difference. Up here at the top is a high pivot, a relatively recent gun, good set of wood, been around the shop for a while. This gun is a Daisy Model 111. Let's show you the roll stamp on it when you get down there. Now the cool thing about this gun is it will run over 400 feet a second. Last time I chronoed it, its average speed was 401 with a high speed of 410, low speed of 392. Haven't run it through the machine lately, but it's been sitting forlornly waiting to be used. And the last gun we're going to use in tonight's shoot is the venerable number 1, serial number 1. The only 11140 Model 27 still in my hands, completely modded out. This particular gun is set up for low-speed shooting, so we've got a 499 spring in it, and it's barely doing 175 feet a second. But I do believe it will be sufficient for engaging tonight's targets, and there will be plenty of targets to engage. I believe that the cock-on closing, don't have to unshoulder the weapon, is going to give me an advantage over my competitors, and I will register more completed target cycles than they.
Okay, we'll see.
Well, you know, I know Jimmy and Connor pretty quick, but you know, I'm not no slouch. So anyway, those are the 4 guns that will be used in the shoot that we do tonight or tomorrow, depending on how long it takes us to build Range City here at the Restomod Development Facility. I wanted to give you an eyeball of what's hanging out in the Remuda at Restomod, and then later on we'll see how these bad boys perform their assigned tasks. That's all we've got for you for this segment of this extended episode. This is Shane Bruce, Restomod Daisy, signing off.